Every attempt to hide deepens the crack in their facade. Every attempt to manipulate the narrative collapses under the force of divine scrutiny. This is why the atmosphere feels charged, why your spirit feels pulled, why everything around you seems to tighten. You are not imagining the tension. You are witnessing the pressure heaven applies when the truth is being forced to the surface. As the interference is removed, the clarity increases. As the veil thins, the exposure intensifies. Three things are now inevitable. Revelation will strike, deception will crumble, and justice will prevail. What is coming is not merely information, it is a spiritual verdict, a divine correction, a holy unveiling. Do not underestimate the gravity of this moment. You are standing at the edge of a breakthrough that heaven itself has initiated, and the truth preparing to rise will alter the landscape of your life. The intervention has begun, and once heaven moves, nothing remains the same. You have felt the spiritual pressure long before you understood its cause, and the seriousness of these sensations demands your full attention. The uneasiness you carried was not random discomfort, but the echo of a divine disturbance, a signal that something concealed was pressing against the boundaries of your awareness. Every sudden wave of anxiety, every moment when the atmosphere around you thickened, every strange silence in conversations was a symptom of the truth struggling to break through. You were not overthinking, you were being warned. You were not imagining shifts, you were discerning them. Your spirit reacted because it recognized what your mind had not yet processed. The human body trembles under emotional weight, but the spirit trembles under prophetic pressure, and what you felt was the tremor of heaven preparing to expose what has been hidden from you. There were days when you sensed a distance in someone's eyes, a hesitation in their tone, an inconsistency in their behavior. These were not accidents. These were cracks in the facade, cracks that heaven allowed you to perceive because deception was running out of time. Every moment you felt drained after interacting with certain people was evidence of spiritual conflict. Every dream that left you unsettled was a message from the unseen realm. Every flicker of intuition that told you something was off was an early warning that the truth was nearing the surface. The seriousness of this shift cannot be minimized. It is the prelude to exposure. Heaven never allows your discernment to activate without purpose. When your spirit aligns with revelation, every subtle change becomes significant. The heavy air, the emotional whirlwinds, the sudden clarity, these are indicators that the spiritual landscape around you is being rearranged. You are walking through a threshold where truth refuses to remain silent, and your awareness is being sharpened because you must see clearly when the unveiling occurs. What seemed like random emotional turbulence was actually divine calibration. What felt like confusion was the collapse of illusions. What felt like pressure was heaven pulling you out of deception and into truth. Do not dismiss these sensations. They are confirmations. Confirmations that deception is deteriorating. Confirmations that exposure is approaching. Confirmations that you are standing on the edge of a reality that will redefine everything you thought you knew. The shift you felt was the first announcement that the veil is collapsing, and the revelation that follows will demand your strength, your clarity, and your readiness. The moment you have sensed approaching the moment your spirit has been bracing for is now accelerating toward you with unstoppable force. The unveiling is no longer a distant possibility, but an imminent reality, pressing closer with every breath you take. Truth is gathering momentum, pushing through the cracks of every lie, demanding to be seen, insisting on being acknowledged. What has been hidden is no longer content to remain in silence. What was once buried beneath fear, manipulation, or calculated deception is rising with the weight of divine authority behind it. And when truth rises with heaven's backing, nothing can restrain it. You are standing on the threshold of a revelation that will change your perception, your relationships, your direction, and perhaps even the trajectory of your destiny. This is not an ordinary shift. This is a seismic spiritual rupture. You will begin to see things you overlooked, hear things you once ignored, and understand things that were previously clouded. The light that is coming is not gentle illumination. It is piercing, exposing, dismantling every illusion that was crafted to confuse or control you. Emotion will rise. Shock may come. Your heart may tremble under the weight of what is revealed. But do not fear these reactions. They are natural responses to the collision between divine truth and human deception. Every false narrative built around you is about to collapse, not slowly, not softly, but with the decisive force of heaven breaking chains that were never meant to bind you. When truth arrives, it does not ask permission, it demands surrender. When revelation strikes, it does not tiptoe, it shakes the foundations. And when God decides the appointed time has come, no amount of hiding, resisting, or pretending can stop the unveiling. As John 8:32 declares, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free," and that freedom is approaching with a velocity that can no longer be slowed. You may feel your emotions intensifying because your spirit recognizes what your mind has not yet seen. You may feel restlessness, anticipation, or even dread because the atmosphere around you is vibrating with the weight of what is about to be disclosed. Do not run from this intensity. Do not numb yourself to the signs. Do not shy away from the light that is breaking through. Everything that was built on deception will crumble, and everything rooted in truth will rise. The unveiling will not simply reveal what was hidden. It will reveal who you are becoming, who is meant to stay, who must be removed, and what path heaven has prepared for you beyond this moment. You are approaching a revelation that will redefine everything, and once it arrives, nothing will ever return to what it was. What you have been feeling is not merely emotional fatigue or mental strain. It is the collision of two spiritual realities, the truth fighting to break through and the deception fighting to maintain its grip. The seriousness of this internal war cannot be understated. When someone connected to you carries a hidden burden, it creates an energetic fracture that ripples into your life, whether you understand it or not. This is why you felt drained without reason, why your moods shifted unexpectedly, why your heart seemed to ache in moments that made no logical sense. You were absorbing the tremors of their inner turmoil, sensing the weight they refused to confront. The human mind is impacted by what the spirit perceives, and your spirit perceived danger long before your mind could articulate it. Deception creates distortion. Distortion creates confusion. Though the process feels heavy, though your heart may ache, though confusion may try to unsettle you, know this: what is breaking is not your life, it is the chains around it. What is collapsing is not your hope, it is the structure that threatened to suffocate it. What is ending is not your destiny, it is the deception standing in front of it. The truth that is emerging is not coming to destroy you, it is coming to deliver you into a chapter where clarity reigns, where purpose is activated, and where every relationship, environment, and opportunity aligns with the will of heaven. You are standing in the middle of a divine rescue, even if it feels like a storm. You are entering the most critical point of this entire journey, the moment where you must stand firmer, breathe deeper, and anchor yourself in a strength you may not even realize you possess. The atmosphere around you is not merely shifting, it is convulsing under the weight of what is about to be revealed. The unseen realm has already made its decision. The divine verdict has already been issued, and now the natural realm is catching up. This is why your emotions feel amplified, why your intuition is on high alert, why every part of your being senses something monumental drawing near. Do not underestimate the severity of what is unfolding. The truth approaching your life is not soft, not gentle, not subtle. It is truth delivered with the force of justice, designed to break chains, dismantle illusions, and sever connections that were poisoning your destiny. As the exposure nears, three forces rise within you: fear, clarity, and divine strength. Fear comes from the human instinct to protect familiar structures, even when those structures were never built for you. Clarity comes from the sudden sharpness of perception that awakens when heaven shines its light on deception. And divine strength rises because your spirit knows that this battle is not for your destruction, but for your liberation. Do not let fear take hold. Do not let doubt consume you. Do not let the emotional storm convince you that you are not ready. You are ready because you were prepared long before you understood the purpose of your suffering. You were strengthened in silence,